Well, hey fellas, Thorzax here. I wanted to put together a little short video. This is primarily around the M1 Grand or anybody who has an M1A. One of the things that happens when you fire your brass, you fire your rounds, is that they are ejected, okay, at a very rapid rate. They come out of the rifle. And what happens is that because the brass comes back, it gets little burrs on the edges of the extractor groove, okay, that's cut into the brass. Also, another thing too, it comes out and it's ejected and it flies through the air, okay, and it lands on the rocks or it lands on, the concrete or whatever, and that kicks up little burrs because, it's being tossed around. And the one thing that I found out about wet tumbling, okay, I wet tumbled my brass for the first hour in the Dawn dishwashing soap and Lemmy Shine with the water mixture, and I allow it to go ahead and do its thing for about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and then what I do is I pour off that water, and that's going to have the bulk of the sediment of the, of the what's left over, the fouling that's inside the brass. And then what I do is I fill it back up with some cold water, and then I allow it to go ahead and I tumble it for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then I go ahead and I take it out. It's clean enough at that point. But the one thing that I found is that tumbling action, what it does is it deburrs those little burrs that get kicked up. All those little sharp little burrs that are on the edge of the extractor groove of the brass. And so, wet tumbling, has an added benefit to it that, it takes that stuff off. Brass is malleable. It could be, it's just the action of the brass just tumbling and tumbling on top of itself that takes that out of there. So, and there's other guys too that say that when they go ahead and trim their brass, they don't bother to go ahead and chamfer it, chamfer the inside, chamfer the outside. They say that the action of it tumbling takes care of that too. It takes that burr off. So I don't think I'd go that far, chamfering, especially if you got a Lyman, case prep thing. It's no big deal. But anyway, I wanted to just have a little video and show you guys that. That's a little thing that I discovered, is that it really does. It restores your brass. It really does. It takes all those little sharp edges off of there. I mean, from it hitting the pavement or hitting the rocks, or, from ejecting and stuff like that. The brass is handled. The brass is handled quite roughly, So, yeah, so anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And until next time, just a little reloading tip. This is Thorzax. I'm checking out.